Hello everyone. Welcome back to season 4 of the Pokemon tournament. We are here for the second set of quarterfinal ties. I'm Bren speaking to you, and I'm joined by a lovely panel here, Seb, Doodle, and Titanes. Doodle, let me come to you first because it's been a while since you've actually been on the panel. How are you doing, man?
I mean, first of all, when you did that intro and I saw that Greninja Water Shuriken, I got a bit pissed because, one of the most controversial moments in Pokemon history. But anyways, regardless, I mean, obviously the last time I was here was before, I think, in the last season, before an absolute travesty that I had to witness. We're not going to get into it now, before May 31st. But yeah, since then, we've been doing good. How has everyone been doing?
I've been doing great. It's been a fantastic tournament so far. Lots of entertaining matches. The group stage was amazing with lots of drama. And the first set of quarterfinal ties delivered. And so we're expecting the same for the second set. We have two of our quarterfinalists who are playing today actually here. First in Seb and then Titanes. So Seb, how are you feeling ahead of today?
Excited and a bit nervous, of course. I expect to beat Steve, but he has been better this tournament than the last one, so I won't underestimate him.
Of course. We're joined by someone else in the panel. AL is here as well, but let me come first to Titanes, who's also playing today. Expectations ahead of today for the two sets?
I think Willow will be a tough opponent. He has one of the best teams in the tournament. But just gonna hope that I'll just try to give it my all and hope that whatever prep I have, whatever team I put out, will be enough to get me over the line.
And of course, AL, can you hear us?
Oh yes.
Hello, man. How are you doing? What are your expectations ahead of the quarterfinal ties that we have today? Seb against Steve, and then Titanes against Willow.
Some insane matchups, if I'm being honest. Titanes is the only Indian still in the tournament, so I'll be rooting for him just because of that bias. But let's see what happens.
Oh my god, this is the first time I've heard AL's voice. Damn.
Really?
After playing two finals against each other.
Yeah, we never know because AL has never actually spoken the first two on the panel.
Wow.
Crazy.
We went from two finalists to two both going out in the group stage. This is washed territory right now.
Doodle, that's because you missed the edit that I had for the last group stage match day. AL did not like that one. It was absolute cinema.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hello to Matt. Hello to Willow as well, one of our quarterfinalists over here. PSG stole the trophy. I mean, stole is a bit of a tough word when you look at the scoreline, but it is what it is.
Of course, I'm come to the panel, and this game still gets them. Yeah, this is like
Matt's watching us from a German train, so loving the hustle. Respect, yeah. Keeping up with the Pokemon tournament anyway. So it's going to Berlin in a few days, actually. Hello to Spectre as well, who's going to be not joining the panel today, but still glad to see you here in the chat. Near Cologne, on the west side. Nice to hear, Matt. Hope you're having a good time over there. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. We have two incredible sets today. And I guess without further ado, we're going to get started. We have our first set, which is going to be Seb against Steve. A very intriguing matchup, if you ask me, because obviously Seb had quite a dominant group stage performance, and Steve, of course, upsetting Doodle in Group A to make it into this stage, having something to prove after having a disappointing season last season. What are some of the storylines that you guys reckon that we can expect out of this tie?
Well, I think Steve has a lot to prove after last season, especially. And Seb in the past has been a bit critical of Steve, so there might be some added motivation there to do well. But I think Steve is a good trainer, but I think the power gap between him and Seb is just too big. I expect him to give a good fight, but I think Seb's experience and the quality of his team would be enough to get him over the line.
We're gonna ask Seb his thoughts of the set after the battles are done. For now, Doodle, do you agree with Titness's sentiment about this tie?
Yeah, he actually pretty much read my mind. Like I was actually about to say exactly what he said, but I would say like obviously, look, Seb, we obviously know, I feel like this is gonna be because if Steve can beat Seb, now me personally, I don't think it's gonna happen. But I mean, we have to see. But like, if Steve can beat Seb, that's gonna. I mean, he can basically prove to him. He first, I think, needs to prove himself to Seb, above all, and then we have to see what happens after. But we gotta see. Gonna be hard though.
Of course, it'll be a tough matchup. Yeah, of course, Spectre is actually from Germany, so yeah.
He's Germany.
I'll be there for Mats. Ayush, thank you so much for joining as well. Yeah, I think that everyone in the panel and in the chat has the same sentiment that Seb should be the favorite going into this matchup, but you never know. We saw in the first few quarterfinal ties that even the ones who were considered the favorites had to really, really fight through their opponents to get to the semifinals.
You should never let your guard down, ever.
No, in this tournament, you cannot underestimate anybody, and especially with this team that Steve is proposing here. Latios, Togekiss, Serperior, Victini, Registeel, and Rotom Wash going up against Miltank, Tangrowth, Nidoking, Alomomola, Zeraora, and not Ferrothorn.
People might not think about Miltank that much, but OG Pokemon players, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know. Fortress is the last Pokemon. I was blanking on the name of the Pokemon I used last season, of course.
All I know is Seb's Alomomola is a menace.
Yeah,
it is. Last season it was super, super scary. AL, looking at both of the teams, how do you think this matchup could play out?
Seb has a very defensive core with 2 Regenerator Mons. And Steve has an offensive core. It's offense versus defense. Let's see who prevails at the end.
Let's see. Yeah. Matt thinks that Seb is going to be the winner. Yeah, we all remember Witness Miltank. Truly a menace for all new Pokemon players going through Johto.
And what's interesting is that Steve has no fighting type Pokemon, so I'd be interested to see how he deals with it.
Indeed. We're going to jump right into this one. This is game 1 of the quarterfinal tie between Steve and Seb. Rotom Wash is going to be the lead against Zeraora.
Ooh.
Plasma Fist comes out. It's a lot of damage onto the Rotom right away. Here comes the Willow Wisp, and now this Zeraora.
Very good.
That's
very
good.
good.
Going to be neutered in its damage.
Good move by Steve. Superior, yeah, good switch.
Let's swap into Superior as the ball switch comes out.
Smart, makes sense.
Ooh,
see what Seb says out. Okay. Here's the Miltank, and you know something about cows, they love eating grass. And so there's the Glare. Gets the paralysis in the Miltank and sets up the rocks.
That's good.
Superior has to get out of town. Here comes Registeel with the air balloon. But the body slam is going to pop that air balloon right away.
Best way to damage it.
Hera there would have been huge.
I think Nidoking, he'll go for the Earth Power.
The rocks go up, and I think that Steve is going to have to swatch, and he does, into the Rotom with the Levitate, predicting the Earth Power. But here's the Ice Beam. It's not enough to take out the Rotom anyway. There's the switch to the Zeraora. There's the Hydro Pump. It lands. It's a lot of damage onto the Zeraora, but it's not enough for the knockout. The burn chipping away at the Zeraora as well. And there's
Steve hasn't started so bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, this is quite a decent start from Steve. There's the ball switch once again.
I think that Rotom is probably going to be for the sack.
This Tangrowth is very dangerous. It's very bulky.
There's Mystical Fire, and yeah, it bounces off the Tangrowth, most likely holding the Assault Vest once again. And the knockoff is a lot of damage onto the Latios. Takes off the Soldio as well. Draco Meteor, without the Soldio, it's not going to be enough damage, and this Latios is going to be gone. That's the first knockout.
I do think that Draco was a correct choice there. I would have done the same. I think that was a good move still.
Toge flinch from last season.
Taking damage from the rocks, and here comes the Zeraora as the sack. Steve with the Earth Slash is going to equal the Pokemon differential. And see what the move is from Seb.
I'm curious to see if
Tangrowth.
Tangrowth comes in and Tangrowth comes out. It's just more Regenerator healing for him. Double. Great move by Seb. And here comes Earth Slash once again, bouncing off the Alomomola.
That was a good double.
Flip turn. No,
Protect. Nice. Just scouting. And now it's going to be a straight shot into the Miltank. The Glare not going to affect because it's already paralyzed. Good read
I would have
from
Leaf
Seb.
Stormed. I would have leaf stormed there.
Yeah, I would have least on as well. Yeah.
Here's Registeel. Body Slam
Body
comes
Slam,
out.
great.
It's a crit, but not a
Won't
lot of
matter.
damage into a Registeel, of course. Ironhead going for the para flinch strategy, and he gets the para on the Miltank.
A fortress,
Has to
yes.
switch into the fortress. That feels pretty safe. This Ironhead is not going to do anything.
Crit.
It does get a crit, so it's a bit more damage.
Victini, of
Switch
course.
into the Victini, taking a lot of damage from the rocks, both Victini and the Corrigan.
Rapid
Rapid
spin.
Spin comes in, and that's going to be the rocks gone on the side of
That's
Sam.
good. That's very good.
Salomomola feels like a pretty safe switch into the V crate. Does not do a lot of damage.
That's a bad move. That's a bad move.
And that's Rocky Helmet damage as well.
I think Steve is overthinking. He's kind of overthinking it now.
I mean, Sev is just making very safe plays. Here's the flip turn as well, and he just gets to switch.
Ooh.
The Superior also has the Rocky Helmet, and here comes the
But
tank
there is
growth.
the regenerator. Yeah.
Yeah, Sev just has tankier mons, and they are healing up. And the Sludge Bomb is enough to take out the Superior. And Sev takes the lead once again. Here comes Victini, taking a lot of damage from the rocks. This Victini cannot
switch.
exit the field once again. Bolt Strike predicting the switch, but
that's
it's
good.
not enough to take out the Alomomola. And the switch
Not
back
fine
into
to
the tank growth.
Predicted.
He
Glaciate.
predicts it as well with the
That's-
Glaciate. Reduces
bad.
the speed.
Now you can. I think you could No, you can't recreate. Bolt strike.
No, it goes again into the Alomomola, and the Vic Ray just bounces
He
off.
should
And
have
that's gonna
recreated
be a
before.
kill with the Rocky Helmet. Victini goes down. Steve going down to his final 3 Pokemon. Rodon comes up. It's holding the boots, so it's actually not taking damage from the rocks.
Yeah.
It Bolt switch out, but this Tangrowth is full HP once again. Regenerator so big. Togekiss going for the para flinch, but there's a switch into the Lomomola. Some decent damage, but how do you break through? There's a protect. Just scouting
Honestly,
for the move.
Regenerator
here-
is probably arguably the best ability in draft. Honestly.
Probably.
I mean, it's getting some huge value here for Sev. That was a lot of damage from the air slash though, and Fortress is going to be the
Keeping him in
sacrifice.
line, yeah.
It's another Pokemon Mount. Togekiss is doing its best to keep this game going. It's faster than Nidoking. Does he get the flinch?
Covert
On the
flip, I think.
Nidoking. No! Flinch! And there's the Ice Beam taking out the Togekiss, and that's probably it. Because this Rotom has no HP, and then you have a Registeel as well. Here's the switch into a Tangrowth. Rotom cannot do anything to it. This Hydro Pump does absolutely
You need to have
nothing.
ice. Beam. No.
Bolt switch. Steve is still gonna try. I'm gonna see what Registeel can do in front of this
possible.
Tangrowth.
This is still
No.
game
Tangrowth
1, but
is
good
paralyzed.
news. He can still improvise.
You can, yeah.
Yes, of course. But it's looking pretty doomed. The late game rocks come up.
Interesting.
Wish from the Alomomola. In case Seb needed more healing, here it comes. Ironhead.
That's a
Registeel
bad
doing
thing.
more damage to itself than it's doing to the Alomomola with the Rocky Helmet. The flip turn for the swap into
God,
the
this is
Nidoking.
kind of evil.
Yeah, just healing the Nidoking to full HP. But the Stomping Tantrum with the prediction, and Nidoking goes down.
But
Great
Okay, that's
play
a good
from
one.
Steve.
I
That's
think
a
it's
good
too
one.
late. I think it's too late.
It's a bit
know-
too late.
You know
Ice
what? He goes
Punch.
out there with something.
That's
He
too
has
late as
super
well. I think.
effective move. Yeah,
But
he has
why
super
didn't
effective
you-
moves for anything.
But
The
I think
Earthquake
that's
is not enough.
a bit weird.
Fair.
Switching to the Alomomola, but it's going to be yet another Rocky Helmet kill as Registeel takes itself out after landing the Ice Punch. Rotom is the last line of defense as he has no HP to make this happen. Even with the Bolt switch into the Alomomola, it's not enough. There's the Toxic. The BM kill from Seb is not enough with one tick to take
Protect.
out the Rotom, but you protect, and that's the game. Seb, confident 3-0 win in game 1 over Steve.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I think very well played by Seb, but yeah, I think certain turns which I think cost Steve there, as Doodle mentioned, he overthought in some turns. But yeah, and I feel like he kept some moves a bit too late there. Like for example, on Ice Punch on Registeel, he could have gone for that a bit earlier, in my opinion, because it would have done very good damage to the Nidoking as well. Even with the switch. So yeah, I feel like moves like that might have cost him the game, but still it was well played by Steve overall.
AL, got any sentiments about how that first game went, and what can Steve do to get
I
back?
feel like he was
to-
very, very nervous he started to get a bit confident towards the end with that prediction. But before that, he hesitated to click Leaf Storm quite a few times, and he could have had a better set on his Registeel. He kept on clicking rocks towards the end of the game, which was pointless. He could have had Iron Defense body press. That's a suggestion. Yeah, he could have had. He has some work to do.
Yes, of course. Seb taking the lead on this one, and we're going to jump straight into game 2. We're going to see what the adaptation can be on the side of Steve. We see that both players repeating lineups for the second game, no adaptations from neither one. Of course, if Seb wins this, he's through to the semifinals, and Steve has to win to force a game 3.
It's do or die. It's do or die for Steve.
Do or die for Steve. His tournament life on the line. We're going to see what the leads are going to be for the second game. Zeraora once again on the side of Seb, but Victini is now the lead on the side of Steve.
Go for the full strike. Come on.
Final Gambit is the choice, and it's not enough to take out the Alomomola. Alomomola having so much HP.
I think that's way too risky.
Way too risky. You can.
Was a huge overcommitment on the side of Steve, and now his Victini is gone. Mystical Fire, not enough damage on the Tangrowth, and I've seen this movie before. Knockoff once again, a lot of damage on the Latios, and this Alomomola is just going to heal back up because of the Regenerator. Comes the Miltank. Ice Beam, not a lot of damage without Stab. Here's the switch into a Registeel. Steve going to have to claw himself back into the game.
Miltank has Stick Fat, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, I think this might be Sapsipper, considering this switch into the Superior. That's why I said it loves eating grass, and it loves drinking milk as well. Iron Head, not a lot of damage. This Miltank just so incredibly tanky, and here comes the Alomomola as well after healing itself with Regenerator. Stomping Tantrum once again, not enough damage. Steve is just bouncing off Seb's team.
Needs a crit, no.
Doesn't get the crit, and the Wish is going to come through next turn. There's the Protect, and there's nothing that Steve can do to prevent this Alomomola from going back to 62% HP. There's a switch into a Rotom Wash. Probably should have done that earlier into the Protect, but the Flip Turn is free now. And he has a free switch into the Tangrowth once again. Seb in complete control of this game so far. Gonna see what Steve can do to bounce back. Giga Drain, not a lot of damage to the Togekiss. That's gonna be the switch into Alomomola. He's back to full HP almost. Again.
That's good damage.
Good damage from the Earth Slash, yeah. Here's the switch into the Zeraora. The rocks are doing work for both sides. The miss on the Earth Slash too wouldn't have done a lot. Here's the switch into the Latios, but with the rocks damage, I don't know if it's going to be able to survive this Plasma Fist. Let's see, it's not enough. Latios goes down. Steve down to his final 4 Pokemon to try and see if he can make this comeback. Here's the Superior trying to make something happen. There's the ball switch from the Zeraora. So quick, the Zeraora, compared to the Superior. The switch into the Tangrowth. There's the Leaf Turn.
HP Fire, maybe?
Maybe, or maybe Ice. Anything would do it. Glare instead, paralyzing the Tangrowth, trying to play up through your outs, but the Sludge Bomb is a lot of damage and gets the Poison as well. So this Superior is going to go down next turn no matter what. There's the switch into the Miltank once again. Leaf Storm comes out, and there's the Sapsipper and gives the Miltank an attack boost as Superior goes down. Steve is down to his final 3 Pokemon now. And so he's taking so much damage from the rocks. Air Slash, does he get a flinch at least? No flinch even.
Everything is going wrong.
He has 3 Pokemon left, and he's already saying GG in the chat. I mean, that tells the whole story.
It's a bit rough out here. Rotom is going to come out. Hydro Pump, absolutely no damage on the Tangrowth. It's so bulky. It's just so bulky. It's Registeel. Even though he resists the Giga Drain, what can he do in return? Ice Punch? Not even 30% to the Tangrowth. And the Earthquake with the critical hit this time is enough to take out the Registeel. It's all going to be on Rotom now, and I don't think he's going to be able to win 1 versus 6, even with the super effective hidden power. It's not enough. Giga Drain, super effective, lots of damage, gets the healing. This is it, folks.
Wow.
Steve is gonna go down, and Seb, with a commanding 6-0 in game 2, is gonna make it to the semifinals.
Okay, the final gambit, turn 1.
Yeah, that was quite
That's a
controversial.
gamble.
That's yeah. I think you can't take that big of a risk, and also I just don't think he adapted. I don't think Seb really changed much at all in the second battle, but he just didn't adapt to any of most of the tactics which Seb used in the first leg. Steve just didn't adapt to a lot of them at all.
Indeed. We've kept him quiet for most of this stream so far, but now we'll give him a chance to talk. Seb, congratulations on your win. Very commanding, especially in that second game. Want to talk us through your thoughts before going into the set and as the battles went on?
Yeah, in my prep, I identified Zeraora as a huge threat to Steve's team, but for some reason, I completely didn't cross my mind that Rotom Bosch could just Will-O-Wisp cripple it. So that took me off guard game 1 and forced me to adapt my game plan. But game 2, I just learned from my mistakes and just played a perfect game to win. And also, the Toxic wasn't for BM. It's because I was not sure if Flip Turn would take it out.
Okay, fair. Panel, do you have questions for Seb or thoughts on this set as a whole?
By the way, Psychic just said something funny.
Yeah, I mean, by final gambit, it's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of what the move is. I think that in that situation, Steve recognized that he needed to make a big gamble.
I think maybe he saw what you did in your battle against Ayush and took inspiration from it, but I think it's the wrong move in this battle.
That was one of his win conditions.
I mean, in a way, Seb took a page off of Spectre's book with the Sap Zipper against the Superior as well.
Yeah. And also, I just think that having to generate on 2 of your Pokemon, it's so OP.
That's what I mean. The core.
Yeah. Ended up being too insane.
Seb, do you have Assault Vest on your Tangrowth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Tangrowth is unkillable.
Yeah, literally unkillable.
Yeah, and I love it as an attacker as well. I crunched the numbers. I think it got like 5 kills or something. Is my top kill Pokemon right now.
I think the only way to take it down is a Toxic, but then you have to wait a long time for it to go down.
The Earthquake did a lot on the Registeel, so yeah, the Tangrowth, honestly.
Yeah,
Tangrowth just has incredible coverage for a tank.
Yeah, it does.
Incredible draft pick over there for Seb. Well, we don't have Steve here in the chat or in the panel, but obviously commiserations to him on the defeat. I still think that he can be proud of what he did, especially in the group stage. I don't think anybody in this panel expected much of him, and he ended up proving himself in that group stage. And especially that first game against Seb, I thought he was pretty competitive, but yeah, he took a risk in game 2 and it didn't pay off, and it snowballed into a
one turn can absolutely completely decide the battle. Like, it can change the tone so much in Pokemon.
Exactly. Yeah. In case somebody from the chat missed it, we do have a bit of a recap of how this set played out. So I'm gonna quickly reveal what we have over here.
Payback time, folks! Sal's made his ring, and now he's got to sleep in it. Let's go! It looks like our hero is ready to fight! It's hard to believe that Mr. Satan's iron hands are finally going to have their revenge on Sal for what he's done to the people of Earth. In mere moments it will all be over, so don't you dare blink an eye. It's all up to you, Mr. Satan. We're counting on you. Nice move. I can't believe it. It looked like the champ went straight for his tried and true patented dynamite kick. Mr. Satan is absolutely amazing! The man never rests! He just keeps on attacking! Look at his speed, his agility! It's a veritable ballet of punches! He's too fast for Cell to even fight back! This is amazing!
And now for my finish!
Scary
It's a short-
accurate.
Dude, if I'm Steve, I'm calling my lawyers for this one.
You know what's funny? Even the character was green.
Even the character was.
I
It's
like
just
the
like-
nickname Mr. Satan.
I think we can agree Tangrowth
Exactly.
MVP of this tie. I think it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Tangrowth MVP.
It's actually his actual name, Mr. Satan.
Indeed.
Hopefully you don't get copyright strike for that.
No, I
We're
didn't
getting
get-
copyright strike for everything. Like, I don't care about this channel anymore. As long as it doesn't get stricken down, I couldn't care less about the
Makes
monetization.
sense. Yeah.
Thank you, AL, for that one.
Yeah.
Did you make this rank? Or was it
Yeah.
Matt's?
No, I made this.
He makes
okay.
everything.
Quality.
Quality indeed.
We're gonna have an edit from Matt next week. I'm just putting that out there, so
Ooh.
it's gonna be very, very good. For now, we're gonna move on to the other quarterfinal tie. The winner of this is gonna play against Seb in the semifinal, and it's a big one. In my opinion, it was the most highly anticipated tie of the quarterfinals. It's gonna be obviously Titanes against Willow. Willow, who's coming off a pretty strong group stage performance. Obviously, he gave a good game to Spectre, and then he defeated both Sabutian and AEL to make it to this stage. Meanwhile, Titanes having basically the most dominant of group stage performances we've seen in a while, only losing 2 Pokemon over 3 battles. And yeah, obviously, Titanes, since making last season's final, has a huge expectation on his shoulders to carry this team to glory once again. Doodle, I don't know if you are catching up with the storylines right here, but what is your opinion on this tie?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know too much about Willow, with all due respect, because obviously I haven't really watched him that much. But I have seen some of his battles. Seems like a very competent battler. When I saw his team, it was like, okay, oof, fairs. I think this is gonna be a tough one, but I think Titanes has that motivation to this time make it back to the final, and this time correct his errors from last season. But we have to see. Not gonna be easy.
The same way we did with Seb, we're going to ask Titanes about his thoughts after the battles are done. Seb, do you have thoughts yourself going into this tie?
Yes, I mentioned before, it's the quarterfinal tie to look out for, and it's saved for last. Titanes, as you said, with his dominant group stage, and the Willow, who advanced from the group of death and beat AL, and yeah, this is on paper the closest quarterfinal, so I can't wait.
AL, well, you said you were rooting for Titanes on this one as the pride of India, the one remaining, and also Willow got here by beating you. This is a tie that you should be very familiar with. Do you have a favorite besides your bias, and how do you think it could play out?
I still do think Willow is the favorite here just because of one Pokemon.
I think you should know.
And let's see if he brings that for his games.
Okay, I see how it is. As Seb said it, this is the quarterfinal tie. So just because of it, we're going to have a very special intro ahead of this matchup, which I need to play. This is the annoying part about the new StreamYard, that I have to actually manually put everyone in the background to show the images. But let me see.
Creed now comes out for round 2, dancing around. The legs appear to be still a little rubbery. And the leader throws the right hand and staggers Creed into the right switch off. Under the right switch. I've never seen Apollo take so much punishment. It's absolute pandemonium. Stand back. We let it be.
You can do it, Zorn. I defeat the real champion.
Where's the stretcher? Somebody sent for us again. Let him breathe, for God's sake. What started out as a joke has turned out to be a disaster.
Creed appears to be in very serious condition.
The man alive.
You can make it fun. If he dies, he dies.
Absolute cinema, as we like to say over here
Absolute
in
cinema.
the.
Oh my god, what was that? That's my favorite edit. That's the best edit, bro. Oh my goodness.
We're giving it all for the postseason over here. That was Apollo Creed. People, if you haven't watched Rocky 4, it's been 40 years. Like, come on, you cannot tell me that those are spoilers of any kind.
Nah, bro, if you haven't watched that movie, go watch it. Like, bro, that's a great movie. No way, man.
Incredible, absolute cinema. AL left us after that one because I think that making that edit, I feel dirty because I wasn't beating around a dead horse. It felt like, but I had to do it because it's the pride of India. Like, it's the last representative from that country going up against the new kid on the block, the talk of the town, Willow Rush, for this quarterfinal tie, and it's gonna be absolute cinema. I think we cannot wait any longer. I think that we just jump right into the action and see what the lineups are going to be like. I believe, Titanes, you showed your lineup before on the Discord.
Yes.
I don't know if you want me to show that. Okay, I'm going to go look it real quick. It's over here. Okay. So let's see. Here's the lineup for the Bangkok Shinobis ahead of this quarterfinal tie against Willow. It's going to be Celesteela, Garchomp, Greninja, Sylveon, Azelf, and Zoroark. Very, very interesting lineup over here on the side of Titanes. Doodle, what do you make out of this lineup? Of course, we see many returning faces from Titanes from last season, like Garchomp, Azelf, and Greninja, but the new faces are making a splash as well.
I mean, this Greninja haunts me to this day still. Oh my days. Hate this guy. But yeah. I mean, that's a very strong lineup. Celesteela is the one I'm looking out for because, you know, it has a lot of great moves it gets. Very bulky it can be. Leech Seed can be very strong as well. I wonder if Meteor Beam is going to be used here. Zoroark is an interesting one. I used it last year. It can be very deceptive with Illusion. You gotta actually, can play mind games with it. But yeah, Sylveon is also... could set up screens. It can be a very tidy setup from Titanes, I feel like. Try to put off Willow, but it's a pretty good lineup. I would say it's a pretty strong lineup.
Seb, do you agree with that sentiment?
I'd prefer to wait until the teams are opposite each other in the preview.
Let me do that real quick then, because we have the first game right here, where we also see the lineup on the side of Willow, which is going to be Crocodile, Starmie, Shaymin, Silvally, Quillfish, and Thunderous. So what are your thoughts looking at the two teams heading up against each other?
Greninja and... Greninja is the best Pokemon on either side. Celesteela and Garchomp are also a powerful threat. Celesteela defensively, but we saw it sweep in the group stage. Willow has a strong team as well. But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't bring Magearna, because that's arguably a top 3 draft Pokemon in Gen 7. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. A slight edge Titanes, in my opinion, especially given his previous knockout experience.
Yeah, the absence of Magearna is insanely puzzling, especially after the impact that it had in that match against AL in the group stage. But we're going to see what Willow can do without it. I guess let's just jump straight into it. quarterfinal tie. The last one of today is going to be Thunderous for Willow against Greninja on the side of Titaness. The Ice Beam straight out of the gates with the Protein turning into an Ice type. But there's the Yache Berry to resist the damage. And the Thunderbolt back. Lots of damage onto the Greninja. What an explosive start to the battle.
Intimidate.
Thunderous
Okay.
able to survive. And here's the switch into the Quillfish to resist the Ice Beam. Taunt comes through
Smart.
from the Greninja. Absolutely no fear to deny the Toxic Spikes. Great play on the side of Titaness. And here comes the
Fantastic
Garchomp. Liquidation. It's going to do a bit of damage. And Rough-Skin.
Curious if it has the ice move.
Let's see
But it
it. Here
doesn't matter
comes the
because
switch.
Garchomp is faster.
Oh, there's the Sword Stance.
Pretty bad
Setting
play.
up.
Because Thunderous is faster.
Thunderous is
HP Ice,
faster.
surely.
Yeah, Titaness is able to scout the HP Ice. Has to lose his boost, but at least he doesn't lose his Garchomp. And Sylveon is able to tank this hidden power. Heal with the leftovers as well. It's an easy switch into the Quillfish, though. Let's see if Titaness called it. There's a Calm Mind.
But this is a bad matchup. Does he have
It
the
is a bad
poison
matchup.
stab?
There's the
Yes.
Poison Stab move. Gunshot is a lot of damage and gets the Poison as well. What did Titaness go for? He went for another Calm Mind. And the Poison is going to take this Sylveon out.
No,
and
you
that's
gotta
the
attack
first
there.
knockout.
Should have attacked.
That's the first knockout to the favor of Willow. Sylveon going down
The only
without doing
attack-
any damage.
I don't know.
Oh, and the
Good
Silvally
switch.
is fairy, and so he's immune to the Scale Shot as well. The switch into the Celesteela, though, multi-attack fairy type move is not going to do a lot of damage to the Steel type. We're going to have to see what Celesteela can do to bring Titaness back into this game. There's a U-turn to pivot out.
Quillfish.
Gets to Intimidate. What's the
Okay.
choice? Leech Seed. Celesteela going to heal off this Quillfish as well.
I'm curious who's disguised, who the Zoroark is disguised as. That's interesting to see.
That will be intriguing. I don't think we've seen Zork hit the field yet. We're going to see if this Athos has something to say about it. Oh, the Mystical Power switch. It's immune because of the Dark typing, but the Energy Ball is a lot of damage onto the Crocodile. But what's it going to go for? The knockoff is a one-shot.
Yeah, it's pretty
onto
obvious.
the Azelf. And just like that, the Titaness is down 2 Pokemon. Here comes the Garchomp once again. Switch into the Starmie.
Doesn't make any sense.
Flamethrower.
Good switch.
And so if I had to guess, that was probably Zoroark because
That
I don't
was
know
Zoroark.
why.
Yeah.
Why
Oh,
would
yeah,
it have
that's...
Flamethrower?
Okay, then it makes more sense.
Yeah. I mean, Garchomp does get Fire Blast. But, yeah, not
Yeah, but
Flamethrower.
I don't know why you'd use that, so I guess that was Zoroark. Air Slash does take out the
But then
Quillfish
doesn't the
finally.
Dark Stab just make more sense either way?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, in front of the Crocodile, maybe not, but yeah, predicting the switch potentially. There's the Agility. Interesting move because the Thunderous is already so incredibly fast. The Leech Seed is gonna get some healing to
Okay.
protect, just chipping more damage.
Has a
Well, I love
special
that.
defense
I love
boost.
that Celesteela name. Zephyr Titan. Aura. That's such a good name. Oh my.
Yeah, and because the special defense boost that Sev called out earlier, able to survive this Thunderbolt pretty easily. With the Leech Seed, one more turn, and this Thunderous will go down. Willow choosing to preserve it, switch into the Shaman, calling the Protect as well. Celesteela almost at full HP. You cannot Leech Seed. Leech Seed does get the
Toxic
Shaman, and the
Misses.
Toxic Miss is huge on the side of Titaness.
Doesn't Shaman have natural cure?
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And
Stormy
so
too.
could have it as well. Stormy could
Stormy
have
as
it as
well.
well. So there's more damage onto the Celesteela. And yeah, there's a natural cure on the Starmie, and the switch back into the Shaman. And yeah, Titaness realizes that this is a losing battle and has to switch his Celesteela out into the Garchomp, or is it Zoroark? We don't know.
I feel like Celesteela could have just spammed Air Slash. There's no reason not to.
Dazzling Blue.
Oh, Dazzling Gleam is a lot of damage on the Garchomp. This confirms that this is in fact the Garchomp. It has a Sword Sense up,
Good
but
switch
did
to
he predict the
Silvally.
switch? He predicted, but
Good
there's
one.
the Earthquake, not enough to take out the Silvally, and Garchomp goes down to the Poison. And suddenly, Titaness is down to his final 3 Pokemon, and one of them is this Greninja that is Poison. And on his last legs, he calls the Dark Pulse,
Good one.
Protein. There's the damage, the Cobra Berry as well to resist the
Incredible
Dark type
prep.
damage.
That's such good prep. 2 berries. in
He's
both
had two
battles.
berries. Incredible
Makes a
from
lot of
Willow.
sense though, because Titaness is two dark types.
Yeah, you get a lot of value of that. Silvally is going to go down, but it's going to trade its life for the Greninja, and that is big on the side of Willow. Because now he's got a 4-on-2, and one of them is a Celesteela.
That counts as Quillfish's kill, right? Because of the poison.
Yeah, it does. See? Instant switch back into the Starmie. Flamethrower. We don't know if that's Celesteela or if that is...
That's a Zoroark. I think that's
that
a
has to be Zoroark. Endure, that has to be Zoroark. There's no way that you go for Endure with a... But Willow calls it and just go for the recover. Didn't even go for the attacking move onto the Endure from the Zoroark. Flamethrower is a lot of damage onto
It's
the
so
Shaman, though.
little. Like, I'd expect the Zoroark to do more damage than that if it's super effective.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's not stabbed just so huge. Here comes Celesteela for real. Immune to the Toxic Spikes, of course. The bluff was called. The Thunderbolt comes through. Not a lot of damage. Toxic again, despite already revealing the natural cure. Titaness not finding his way through Willow at the moment. Natural cure once again switch into the Crocodile. Willow seems to have this one in the bag, but can he close it out? Earth Slash is a lot of damage into the Crocodile. It still looks like a tough endgame because of how tanky this Celesteela is. Protect. It's gonna get more leftovers.
Good.
Recovery.
But this is knockoff now.
It is. I think the call is just to sacrifice the Zoroark.
Yeah.
Knockoff comes through. The illusion ends. Costa Berry was as well one of the berries. And the poison takes out the Zoroark. Celesteela's gonna have to come back out. Titaness down to his final Pokemon. The knockoff is a lot of damage. Takes away the leftovers as well. The Earth Slash misses
my god.
on the Crocodile. So not even gonna get that kill. Knockoff doing less damage because there's no item. Air Slash misses again, so you're not even gonna get the kill on the Crocodile.
That's
and
such
Willow is gonna take game
actually
1
an
4-0.
insult. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
I mean, if it means anything, I think that the game was over anyway. But that stings.
No, that's just an that's a like salt to the wound. That's basically what it was.
Well, you were talking about it in the while the replay was playing, but Seb, you really rate how Willow prepared for that first battle, right?
Yeah, it was great. He managed to navigate a slight team disadvantage for an ultimately quite comfortable win. But there were some weird plays by Titaness, uncharacteristically weird.
Doodle,
and even one without Magirna.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, without Magirna.
The 2 berries by Willow, that was crazy. Like I said, that's like high level, but it makes sense. I do think there were times where Titaness kind of stuttered, though. It felt like there were some moves where I feel like they could have taken some different decisions. Like there was like, for example, like with Sylveon, I think at that point you gotta attack. I don't know if going for a combine again there was, because he could have at least gotten a lot of damage done there, possibly even killed it if it had a psychic type move, let's say. But I think overall Willow had this battle under control. He really navigated through it well. That's what I'll say. But it's not over. We know Titaness is a very skilled player, and I think Game 2 is going to show a lot, really. This is definitely
the early swords dance was pretty bad too. Any attacking move seemed pretty obvious there, because it won't outspeed a lot of things, so it doesn't matter that you're at +2. And also, I think the single layer of toxic spikes did a lot as well. And Titaness didn't have any hazard removal.
Yeah, I agree with the sentiment of Psychic as well. Like, so many berries being used to resist moves this season. That's just the magic of draft, that you know what's coming, and so you know what to prepare for. AL, I don't know for how long you've been in the background. I was too focused on the battle, but I'm guessing you saw that one. What do you make out of that first game that went the way of Willow?
Insane prep from Willow. The berries are probably the MVP of this tournament, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Titaness has a really crippling weakness in his team. He has a 0 hazard control, and he made a bad decision on the Sylveon by going for Calm Mind on the Quillfish. I still think he can come back, but let's see what happens.
Yes, of course. TTNS has to win this game to keep his tournament hopes alive. TTNS, no stranger to going down on the first game and then making a comeback. So we're going to have to see how it plays out on this one. We have the lineups here for the second game. Willow, with a win, will secure a spot in the semifinals where he will
Magirna's back.
face against Sev. Magirna is back, replacing Thunderous on this one. And on the side of TTNS, Driflim makes his appearance, replacing Zoroark. So those are the two substitutions, the adaptations made by the players coming into this second game. Of course, TTNS having to win to keep this tie alive, to force a game 3. I have to see what the play is going to be, what the lead is going to be. Driflim
with the
comes out.
Magirna now on the side of Willow and the Driftblim on TTNS, I actually think Willow now also edges out the squad selection.
That
we saw
baton
the
pass
trick
can
room.
be scary. The baton pass can be really dangerous.
Sylveon scouting for the move with the protect.
Just stacking hazards. Looks
Yeah,
like Willow
stacking
has
hazards.
identified that TTNS has a weakness.
That's 2 layers of toxic spikes and 2 layers
wow.
of spikes. So many hazards. This
Berry.
yeah, this Quillfish essentially losing almost all of his health and its item to set up 4 layers of hazards, and the trick room from TTNS did absolutely nothing there. It expired so quickly, and now this Greninja is not going to take so much hazard damage and a knockoff to boot. Take out its Focus Sash, which is going to be useless at this point. This comes to switch back into the Quillfish. Spikes itself with Protein, turning itself into a ground type, but probably not what you want in front of a water type. And there's the flip turn, and it's going to be a KO. The flinch on the Dark Pulse would have been huge, but you lost your staff, so it was less damage as well. And just like that, Greninja goes down. That's the first knockout.
Surely the fog now.
Yeah.
No, what?
Oh.
No, the fog on the side of Driflim, instead Toxic, putting this...
Sash.
Yeah, there's a Sash to survive. Now this Crocodile is on a timer. The baton pass into the Garchomp, but even more hazards damage being taken here.
Yeah, I don't see a way for TTNS to win if he can't get rid of so many hazards.
Oh, the switch into the Magirna. Magirna with the balloon would have even been immune to the Earthquake, so that's an amazing switch from Willow. And here's the shift gear, and there's the first kill, and the Soul Heart is going to come through to give a special attack boost to the Magirna. What can Azelf do? Can he survive a dashing lead? No, he cannot. That's another kill, and I've seen this movie before. It happened to another Indian player earlier in the tournament too.
No, it's not happening again, is it? There's no way it's gonna happen again.
Thunderbolt is a lot of damage onto the Celesteela, and the Lich Seed misses to add insult to injury. This Celesteela is gonna need glasses after this one. It's missing so much. Protect just toss out another turn, gives some leftovers recovery.
Honestly, what can you do at this point? Really?
You can do nothing. You tank this Thunderbolt, so what? You're slower now. The switch into
this reminds me of our battle, where you had the Bishop, you brought in like at the exact best time, and Willow did the same here. You can't do anything now.
You cannot do anything. Flash Cannon, super effective. The Sylveon goes down. It's all down to the Garchomp, but that's it. That's gonna be the game. And with a commanding 6-0 win, once again Magirna sweeping. Willow eliminates TTNS from the tournament 2-0 in the quarterfinals.
I'm gonna say something. That's the best single performance from anyone in this tournament so far.
I mean, that was incredibly dominant.
I did not expect that. I thought it was gonna be close.
Yeah, it felt close at the start, but that second battle was just so dominant on the side of Willow. Incredible performance. 2-0, advancing to the semifinals as well. Well, you didn't get to speak so far. Obviously, TTNS, commiserations for the loss. I'm sure you are extremely disappointed after that result. But what are your feelings before, during, and after the battle?
Well, yeah, I'll just say this right now. I made a big statement about this in the server through the hidden chats. That was the worst performance I've ever given in the history of this tournament. I'm sorry to mention this doodle, but this was mine Inter Milan final performance.
I was about to say exactly that.
This was mine.
Exactly that.
And the maddest thing is, I feel like, because see, we've seen players like Mike and Patrick played in this tournament, and so you can't really say it's the worst performance. But I feel like I don't want to beat my own drum, but I think we all know I'm a good player, and the reason why this is so shocking and disappointing is we know I'm capable of much more than this. So from a top player, I think this is the worst performance we've ever seen from a top player in this tournament. Because even we've seen rank destroy, we've seen rank destroy Seb a few times, but in those battles it was 1 or 2 turns which decided the game, and it was rough, pretty even up until that point. But this was from turn 1 to the end of the battle, to the end of the second battle.
Yeah.
He ran rings around me for the whole game. He read me like a book, and yeah, and also my prep it just wasn't good enough. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened to me. It was just uncharacteristically very bad prep from me. I'll go through it to explain my process. This is for Garchomp. I should have had a Yachiberry on it, but the reason I didn't is because it's quite a common tech on Garchomp. What I thought, and you did this in our battle rank against me. A lot of our battles last season, you nullified my Garchomp by using Intimidate on Landorus, and I saw that he had 2 Pokemon with Intimidate, Crocodile and Quillfish. So I had a Clear Amulet on Garchomp, so I thought that I would surprise him that way. He would switch into, because in my opinion, because my thought process was Crocodile was a great switch into, of course, it's Magearna, but I thought that might have been a little risky because of the ground type weakness. I thought he'd have a Shuka Berry because that's what he used in his previous battles. I don't know why. I didn't even account for him having a balloon. I really should have. But my thought process was I thought he would switch into Crocodile, go for the scale shot, take my Crocodile, take my Garchomp down, and then have a speed boost on Crocodile ready to sweep. I thought, from my perspective, I thought that'd be a great strategy from his side. So I thought by nullifying that with a Clear Amulet on Garchomp, that'd be a good move. But I should have had a Yachiberry on there. And to answer your question, Seb, from the first battle, why I went for the sword stance, it was a bit naive of me, but I was planning on sweeping there. If I had a Yachiberry on Garchomp over there, I had Scale Shot on it. So if I went for a Scale Shot with the sword stance, I would have survived one hit with a Yachiberry, possibly would have taken the Thunderous down, and suddenly my Garchomp is in sweeping territory. But it was way too risky. It was way too naive of a tactic that I had, and my Zoroark, as soon as he didn't bring Magearna in the first battle, my plan for Zoroark went out the window, because my plan was what I thought he'd do. I never accounted for him having a berry on Thunderous as well. I don't know why I didn't. My plan was with Greninja. I noticed Greninja had a lot of good moves going into his team, so I thought that the one Pokemon which would really struggle against and which would tank its moves would be Magearna. So I thought he'd switch into Magearna on the first turn when he saw that my Greninja was my first Pokemon. Then I would bait him into going for the Gear Grind. Then I'd switch into my Zoroark disguised as a Sylveon. Then I had a Focus Sash on it. So then I wanted him to go for a move like, it's a Sylveon, but even if he figured out that there was a Zoroark, even if he went for Dazzling Gleam, the Zoroark would have survived on 1 HP. I get a Flamethrower off, and then I have a Kusta Berry on it. So then on the second turn, I take Magearna out, and suddenly I took one of his best Pokemon down and have the early advantage. But
I mean, yeah, but that's like extremely situational and like so.
That's why it's very situational. I overthought my strategy with Zoroark in that instance. And for Drifblim, there was one of the most moronic.
Yeah, I would like to ask some questions about Drifblim.
Yeah, it was one of the most moronic strategies I've ever had. First of all, this is up there. Okay, this is not up there with Sandstorm Raikou, but it's not far off. I didn't even know it had Defog. I don't know why. I went through its moves. I don't know why. I just did not realize that it had Defog. And to be fair, this was a big flaw in my team as well. Even if it had Defog, it probably would have helped me in the battle. But at the end of the day, I think it would have only delayed the inevitable, because Drifblim has so many weaknesses going into his team. He has so many Pokemon or electric type moves. He has knockoff the crocodile. Even though I should have had it on the fog, but honestly, Driflim shouldn't have entered the battle. My plan was it was a very stupid plan as well. I wanted to somehow get activate Unburden with Driflim and then Baton Pass into my Garchomp, but I realized after this battle that would have never worked with a Focus Ash, and with a Berry it would have never worked as well because Driflim had multiple weaknesses, so it would have been very situational. So again, that was just quite a naive tactic by me. I was actually happy with one of the teams which I came up with, but I never brought it to the battle because my plan was to use it in the second battle if I had won the first one, but I should have just used it in the second battle anyways. My plan was to lead with Malamar, and then I had a trick room. I had two avenues. If he led with a Pokemon which could two-shot it, because that Malamar had a Tanga Berry and it had max special defense, so it could not die from a Dazzling Gleam from Magearna. So it would have lived no matter what one turn. So my plan was go for the Trick Room in that first turn, and then depending on the situation, either bait Destiny Bond and take one of his Pokemon out, or if my Malamar would survive 3 turns, go for the superpower, and then Baton Pass into Electros, and then I checked my Electros had 1v1. It does well against pretty much his whole team, 1v1 with the moves I had set on it, and I had an Assault Vest on it, and if I had an Assault Vest on my Electros, it had max HP, and if I got the defense boost off on the Electros,
it's just
suddenly
unkillable. In fact, one of the things that Willow texted me about after the battle was he was a bit confused as to why you didn't bring Electros with the Assault Vest.
Yeah,
like exactly that
why.
said.
I don't know why I did that. I think the nerves just for some reason got to me because, and also I will say this doesn't take away from how bad of a performance this was for me, but Willow showed me, he was kind enough to show me his prep, completely showed me the two teams he used. I feel like you guys think he's good, and like he is good. He's not good. He is on ranks level. He is like I think you might know this rank because you
know
invited
what's
him.
funny? You know what's funny?
Sorry?
When I
Yes,
saw
Willow?
him have a Magearna, if Rank probably remembers, I DM'd him saying, "Wait a minute." I was checking when I was like preparing for one of my battles. I think I was actually preparing for Rank's battle, for my battle. I saw the Magearna was banned. So make of that what you will.
And in the first battle as well, one of the I don't know why I was very idiotic in this battle for some reason. I had protect on Sylveon, so I feel like a lot of people were saying that I should have attacked. In my opinion, it's not that I should have attacked; it's just that I could have just scouted with protect, and then I think no matter what, I had a safe switch to Celesteela, and then I think that's so important. I think that's so important because I think that might have. I'm not sure, but I think if I kept Sylveon alive in that turn, the battle would have been a coin toss towards the end to who won because he had 4 Pokemon left, but he had 1 Pokemon with full HP. 3 of them were like at around 30. So I was still the game wasn't that wasn't a complete domination. So at that point of the game as well, I think 3 or 4, maybe even I think 3 of his Pokemon were special attackers. Were 3 of his Pokemon were special attackers, so having both Sylveon and Celesteela alive would have really helped me. So yeah, I think my prep wasn't that good. Even with the prep I had done, I feel like if I used my Malamar Electros strategy in the second battle and kept Sylveon alive in the first battle, I might have gotten it over the line. But listen, I just took a very big L today. It's been very tough. You know, if Greninja and Garchomp wanted to resign tomorrow, I don't blame them. Yeah, listen, well,
I can't lie. The Greninja put in a stinker. This both ties, this both games. I feel like.
but I think
you could argue like in the entirety, like you could say it wasn't needed in the group stage, but it didn't see much of an impact in the group stage either. And this game,
disappointing compared to last season, really, honestly.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean,
don't do my favorite player like that. I see that comment later. Don't do.
No, shout out to Spectre for the edit, of course.
Of course,
and
I'm
indeed,
grateful.
Yes.
yeah,
Il
go on.
Capitano.
To be honest, I think you bringing Drifblim into the second battle was actually a good decision, and you having Focus Sash was an even better decision. But when I first saw the lineups for the second match, I thought you prepped well for his Magena because a Drifblim after the Unburden outspeeds the Magena even with the with the shift gear, and you could have Thunder Waved it. And there's also Strength Sap, which could nullify the
I
Crocodile.
know, yeah, strengths up as well. And Willow mentioned that to me later as well. Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I think I think it's both. Like I
He
feel
has
like
a good mix of physical attackers, so
yeah,
Strength Sap would have been crucial for you.
I think one part of me wishes I prepared for Drifting more, but the other part of me just wishes that I just used Electros and a Malamar because I think I would have been enough to get me over the line in the second battle. Then the third battle, who knows what happens. But yeah, and I mean yeah, Willow mentioned he mentioned this as well. His team, yeah, it's weak. I won't. I'm not defending myself in any way, but Willow is. I am convinced. I feel like you. I don't know. I don't know about you, AEL and Spectre in the chat, but I feel like the way I feel like other players don't understand how good Willow actually is. Like I analyzed all of his battles, but I feel like until you actually battle someone, you don't know how good they are.
Mhm.
And I'm someone. I mean, rank. We've played 4 times, and I feel like you beat me 3 times, but all of the battles came down to I think 2 Pokemon with low HP. Like they were all
Yeah,
very
something like that.
yeah, they were all very close, and I can comfortably say that Willow, in my opinion, is on your level. So, yeah, that's a yeah. I mean, and honestly, I think this probably is a bit might be a bit reactionary, but right now I haven't won the tournament because I think Frank you mentioned this as well. He has the best team in the tournament, so I feel like I feel like and I feel like yes, I underperformed massively, but also I feel like Willow was just an unbelievable opponent who had probably the best team in the tournament and probably the best Pokemon in this tournament. But yeah, disaster class for me, and yeah, I'll be back stronger next season.
I mean, listen, it happens to the best of us. I think that I'm no stranger to having stinkers in the knockouts as well. I think that everyone here has had a stinker at some point, and I think it's just what it happens. Sometimes you miss out on something on your prep. There's something that you don't see that you only see after the battle. And yeah, even during the battle, you may like have a bit of a brain fart and you don't know what you did at some point. It happens to the best of us, but also not to take away from Willow, who I think had an amazing set, an amazing preparation, and his team is just fantastic. And I think that he very much deserves to advance to the semifinals, where he's going to go up against Seb. That's going to be a huge clash. We're going to be reviewing the bracket in a bit. Yeah, and like Matt says, it's a pot 4 player that makes the semifinals. Obviously, pot 4 only because he's coming late into the season as a replacement, and yet he makes it to this stage. So
Honestly,
yeah,
the margin
like
of error.
Denmark 92
as well.
Yeah, go ahead,
yeah.
Seb. Sorry about that.
No, yeah,
Like
Seb is, yeah.
Denmark 92 replacing
Yeah.
Yugoslavia.
Let's see if he can go all the way then. If it would
But as I
repeat
was
the
saying,
storyline.
I think we've expanded this tournament so much that the margin of error has shrunk like every single season. Like the competitive field and now is just so high, and it just happens to even the best of us, where all of us here, I'm pretty sure, have faced not even just in this tournament, all of us have faced some kind of these kind of defeats. It's just something, it sucks, but you just gotta learn from it and next time do better. That's really it. Doesn't mean you're a bad player. It just happens. Even the best players have lost by 6-0 and big margins before. It's not exclusive, don't worry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I mean, yeah, that's also. I mean, yeah, like I felt absolutely devastated because I played this at 2 a.m. last night. This battle ended at around 3, slept at around 4:30, woke up at 2 p.m. today. And yeah, it was rough, but yeah, regrouped early, tried researching about how to improve my draft for next season, and yeah, I feel like yeah, I think some people like rank like yourself, Doodle, get a very good run on your well not well. Well, like Doodle, well, sorry, well, yeah, I think yeah, like yourself, Doodle, get a very good run on your first go. But some people like Rank have had to go again and again and again, and they had their seasons. So yeah, I'll just have to go again and again and again. And eventually, I'll have to hope that one of the seasons will be mine.
Yes, of course. Mats, to your question, I have no idea because we don't know anything about the format from next season. There's going to be, after this season is over, there are going to be a lot of polls in the Discord to decide what's going to be of season 5. But if we maintain this exact same format, I don't think Magirna will be allowed. But if we expand, maybe there's more power creep and there's more answers into Magirna, but I don't know.
To be
I'm not
honest,
in a
I
position
think
to answer that one.
Makerna should be buffed.
Yeah, give Magirna more tools. I don't think it has enough. Very quick, we are gonna go to the press conference room of the Tomás Adolfo Ducó because I think that one of the protagonists is over there speaking. So let's check on that.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here! They're gonna need to send in the National Guard or fucking SWAT team, cause I ain't going nowhere! Fuck them!
Very, very strong words from one of our contestants over there. The Bangkok Shinobis and Greninja are gonna get a fine for using that kind of language at a press conference. Yeah, I mean, but after all the rumors about Greninja's stinkers, no, he's bound to stay loyal to the Bangkok Shinobis brand. That is, if Titanes is even able to draft him next season, which is also a question mark. And if you guys wonder why does Titanes get all these cool edits and you don't, it's because Titanes actually suggests ideas to me. So I'm happy to make edits for everyone, but you just need to request them. That's the whole point. Matt says, you're hyped for the semis. Well, I have something for you, Mats, because we can actually review the bracket to see what kind of semifinals we can expect next week, like right after this, next week. We're going to have Spectre against myself in the Cilindro de Avellaneda and Seb against Willow in La Bombonera, the legendary stadium of Boca Juniors. Guys, absolute cinema. Like, after the quarterfinals ties that we've had, I think that the semifinals are going to be
Damn, Rank,
absolutely
you
fire.
missed out, though. If only you had the semifinal in La Bombonera.
If I was on the other side of the bracket, I would have had that.
I know you want that trophy at the Monumental, though. I know you want that. I know you have sights on that.
No. That's what I'm aiming for. But for that, I have to get over Spectre, and we know how tough
Germany
that's
against Argentina.
Oh,
Classic.
Yep. Classic derby, of course. Well, Seb, obviously, you advanced today. You're still undefeated in the tournament. You're going up against Willow, who had an amazing display against Titanes, and Titanes has given him a lot of praise. What are your thoughts ahead of that semifinal as well?
Yeah, I am just excited. I'm facing facing a newcomer in the semifinal that I'm naturally never battled before, whereas you and Spectre have faced off before. I think it's and the fact that Willow is the only group runner-up to advance to the semifinals is good to see. I'm glad that it wasn't just super straightforward with all the group winners advancing. There's and on a different note, only 2 European players advanced from the group stage. Europe flopped, you could say, but we both made it to the semis on different sides of the bracket.
Yeah, and you even have a potential now for a European final if both yourself and Spectre were to advance. Lots of storylines over there. Of course, this is the third season in a row that Seb makes the semifinals. Could it be the one where he actually makes it to the final this one? It's going to be a tough task against
It's either
Willow.
going to be a European final. It's either going to be a two countries with blue and white flags final.
Yeah, an American. Yeah.
Which one is that? El Salvador? Someone.
Yeah, it's El
Salvador.
Salvador.
Yeah, that or like a Latino final, let's say. Or yeah, we have to
Mhm.
see.
Yeah, I mean, Titanes, just looking at the bracket, like I'm excited for both sets, but what are your thoughts on some of these semifinals we had ahead of us for next week?
Yeah, I mean, it's such contrasting storylines. On one hand, you've got Spectre versus yourself, and Spectre. I mean, last season, of course, I did manage to luckily beat you once, but you beat me 3 times. Whereas Spectre and yourself only played once, of course, in the whole tournament. So he's unbeaten to you so far. And yeah, I mean, I've given Willow so much praise. Spectre beat Willow in the group stages, so he's absolutely a huge contender as well. And yeah, I feel like it has a great storyline there. And on the other side of the bracket, you've got Seb up against the new kid on the block, uh, you could say the new like one of the like I have him winning this tournament now, like just because I'm probably
Wow.
maybe reactionary, but like the way I feel like we all describe Rank as a mad scientist, and lovely so. But after Willow showed me his prep and showed me all the tactics he had, and keep in mind as well, he probably showed 50% of his strategies across both battles against me. So he is also another mad scientist. So yeah, just I would advise Seb to be very careful of him. But I'm sure he knows that after today's battle. But yeah, you can't dispute Seb as well. I mean, we said earlier in the stream that having two Pokemon which regenerate on the same team is completely OP in this draft system. But I'm sure Willow will find a way to will try to find a way to break through that. So yeah, that is seeing that battle as well will be very interesting. And then yeah, of course we got the final, and then we of course have got gonna have the bids to see which country hosts the next Pokemon tournament.
Of course. I don't know if you guys get this feeling, but even last season, I didn't get the feeling from this season that I feel like all four of the semifinalists have about the same chance to take the trophy. Like I see 25% across the board when I look at these semifinals because it's just so evenly matched that I think it's going to be insane. I hope that we get 6 games next week. Obviously, I would like to go through without much hesitation, but I'm suspecting that Spectre is gonna give me a very
Spectre actually beat you last tournament, right? When you
He did. The only time that I played against Spectre, I was not able to get the better of him.
This is not going to be an easy one.
It's not. No game is easy. Like even against Ayush, I struggled quite a bit. So now against Spectre, I have to show up really, really big time, and he's gonna.
What's interesting, I find, is that on that bracket. Wait, on that bracket, you see that on your bracket inspectors, you actually both went through on 2-1 because both Ayush and Eli Bungo did make it tough. So that's a kind of interesting, actually. Obviously, I don't know. So yeah, I really hope it's all of those, and then like we have 6 games though, from neutral's perspective. Of course, there has to be one winner though at the end of the day. So we have to see who does it.
Only 2 players can be there at the Estadio Monumental on the 2nd of August for that incredible final. A new winner will be crowned in 2 weeks. That's going to be it for us today. It was a fantastic stream. I think
one question, by the way, Rank. The stadium you guys are battling in, whose team is it? Whose team does it belong to?
Racing.
Oh,
Racing.
El Toro, Lautaro Martinez's former home.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Diego Milito as well. So like
Diego Milito as well.
Diego Milito is actually the president of Racing.
Yeah, he is.
So lot of Interistas having the support for Racing there. Even though we only got 4 games today, I think that the quarterfinals were very entertaining, and obviously Willow and Seb advancing in commanding fashion. I don't know if you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap up the stream.
I'll say this. Imagine after the thing I said about Magirna, Willow just ends up winning everything. Would that
It could
count as an
happen.
asterisk? I'm joking.
No, it's not an asterisk. If anything, it's a mistake on my end, of course.
Nah, it would honestly be pretty cinema though. That would probably be like from neutral
Whatever
perspective, the
happens is
biggest
gonna be cinema.
Yeah.
Like next week, you guys are not ready for next week. Like the cinematics for next week, it's gonna be.
You
crazy.
gotta help some edits though. You need to help some edits and drafts right now.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Yeah.
Seb, any final thoughts?
I have to finally reach my first final. I'm done being eliminated in the semis.
Yes, of course. I can imagine.
By the way, also,
playoffs,
nobody has ever gone back to back. So
nobody has gone back to back.
No.
That's a huge opportunity for me, but it's gonna be super tough with the talent.
we're also
pool
not
that
gonna
is
have a
remaining.
repeating final back to back because obviously the first 2 seasons, me and AL repeated. So this time, obviously, because Titanes is out, we cannot have a repeat of a final. So
no repeat of the final, but we could have 2 new finalists or only 1. It's gonna be crazy. Titanes, thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah. Bring it on. I mean, well, actually, I can't say bring it on, but bring on the battles. Bring on the battles.
Yes, of course. We're going to be here. Thank you so much to the panel for joining me. It's been an amazing stream. Thank you so much to everyone who's watched. Thank you to Matt. Thank you to Willow. Thank you to Spectre. Thank you to Psychic. Everyone who's joining the chat. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing stream. We'll be here next week for both sets of semifinals. We'll see who's going to be the 2 trainers that are going to be in the final fighting for the trophy. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolute cinema. Thank you all so much for joining. See you soon. Bye-bye.